Hi, everyone. Today we are going to review and correct the answers on pages 175 to 178 in your grammar and composition 4 work text. So turn to page 175, please. We've already done the first item, the first line in the exercise. So let's go to number 2. I am awfully anxious to get my driver's license. I hope my answers on the test are all right. Well, we've got this one and that one are things we should look at. So first in the list is all right. Use all right. There is no such word as all right. So we need to cross this out and write all right. And now we have anxious. Look at number 4. Anxious is a negative and eager is a positive. Okay. So anxious means to be filled with concern, to look forward to with dread. And eager means to look forward to with keen desire. I am awful anxious to get my driver's license. Probably wants to. So eager would be appropriate. Looks like we have another one. Awful. Awful, awfully, terrible, terribly. These words should not be used as an intensive modifier to mean extremely or very. Instead, we should use something like extremely. So let's cross awful and do extremely. I am extremely eager to get my driver's license. I hope my answers on the test are all right. Next. Actually, I just noticed we need to correct number 1. I didn't do this in the original video. Eagerly, here. Megan eagerly handed in her paper to Mr. Monroe for grading. Let's look at the whole sentence. Afraid that she had missed a large number of points. Afraid means it's negative. On the terribly difficult biology exam. So terribly we need to look at. Megan eagerly handed her paper to Mr. Monroe for grading. That's a negative, should be. And then terribly. It says right above that terrible should not be used as an intensive modifier. We should say extremely. So, on the extremely difficult biology, and then eagerly is a positive and anxious is a negative. She's clearly anxious, so this should be anxiously. Okay. Thank you. Sorry about missing those before. Look at number 3. A full-page newspaper ad will be seen by a large amount of people. Can you count people? Yes, you can. Well, amount is used for something which cannot be counted. Number for if something that can be. A large number of people. The phone conversation last night between you and I lasted for an awfully long time. Between is a preposition. You and I would be objects of the preposition. They should be objective case pronouns. I is a nominative case pronoun, so we need to use me. And that's verified here. Okay, let's go to the next page. Okay, we've already done number 1. Let's look at number 2. A few enthused spectators stayed until the end of the game, but a group of disinterested people left at the half. Okay, so remember we've got to look at disinterested and enthused. Enthused should be easy because you're just not supposed to use that abbreviated form. Instead, you're supposed to write out enthusiastic. So we will do that. A few enthusiastic spectators stayed until the end of the game, but a group of disinterested people left. So if they're disinterested, that means that they're neutral, unbiased, or impartial. Uninterested means not interested. So this needs to be changed to uninterested because these people left out of zero interest. So uninterested. A person who flouts his clothes only displays his vanity. Well, flout means, let's see. Oh, it was the last one. I'm sorry. Flout means to show off proudly. That's flaunt. I'm sorry. Flout means to scorn or reject. Did he scorn his clothes or reject his clothes? No, he shows off his clothes. A person who shows off his clothes only displays his vanity. So this should be flaunt. F-L-A-U-N-T-S. Flaunts. Christopher, number 4, seemed enthusiastic, or yes, enthused about fixing sandwiches for the fireman's picnic. These are the two words in question. This should be enthusiastic. For the same reason it's here. And fixing, okay, fix means to fasten. Prepare is what we need to say. So his efforts to prepare dinner were unsuccessful. About preparing sandwiches. Okay. And then some students think they can flaunt school policies and get away with it. Well, that's the opposite of the last one. It should be flout means to scorn or reject. So flout, F-L-A-U-T. I'm sorry, O-U-T, flout. All right, that's it. Let's turn the page to 177. We've already done number 1. Hopefully, he will not be too angry when he finds out that the window was broken by Rodney and me. Okay, yeah. Next, the media has promised to provide lots of coverage when the new queen visits the country next month. Well, lots is informal. We should say many. We saw many meteors last night instead of a lot. So provide many or much. So the media has promised to provide much coverage when the new queen visits this country next month. Let's see what the book says for that. Oh, ample. Let's do that. The media has. Oh, this is also a plural, so we need to fix that. Media is plural. Remember, media and phenomena, those are plural. Medium and phenomenon are singular. So if that's plural, have. The media have promised to provide ample. Okay. And then it seems funny that this phenomena is sort of common in physics. Okay, well, there's 3 potential problems here. Sort of, let's start with that one. Sort of should not be used. Somewhat should be used. Is somewhat common. Okay. Funny, the very first item, means humorous, and it is informal when it's meant to strange, odd, or peculiar. It's odd or peculiar or strange. It seems odd that this phenomena is sort of common in physics. Well, phenomena is let's see, is plural, and this would indicate singular. So let us change it to phenomenon. Phenomenon. It seems odd that this phenomenon is somewhat common in physics. Okay? The sailors searched the horizon, hopefully looking for some kind of sign that land was near. Well, hopefully we know is the issue. Hopefully means full of hope, in a hopeful manner, but it is more and more used to mean I hope, as it did in this sentence. You want to avoid this usage. So instead of saying hopefully, you say I hope. The sailors searched the horizon hoping let's check what the book says on that. Oh, I read this wrong. Let's look at this together. This hopefully is actually used appropriately here. The sailors searched the horizon hopefully. End of statement. That's looking for some kind of a sign. That's the issue. Kind of a should be kind of. So let's get rid of a for some kind of sign that land was near. Goodness, that was interesting. I just read it wrong. And then a lot of the captions for the yearbook are kind of humorous. Billy and myself wrote most of them. So we know that myself is not supposed to be used because if you recall, this one right here, it's when this pronoun is used incorrectly for pronouns I or me, it is an affectation. Myself is correct when used intensively or reflectively. So Billy and me would be appropriate. See, Tom and me would be standard. And then kind of is redundant. What kind of mineral is that? Actually, that's the wrong rule. Kind of, sort of would be, it's used in place of rather or somewhat. So we need to use those instead. A lot of captions for the yearbook are somewhat humorous. That would be correct. Okay. So let's do an up arrow to indicate that you've gotten on the word myself to indicate that you got all the way to the end. And let's move on to 177. So, 178. I'm sorry, we're on 178. All right, so we've done number one already. The weather was nice Saturday, so our family went to the seashore. We don't want to use so. So it says so is vague. Instead, because of the rain, the game was canceled. Or, let's see. Yeah, that's the one, because this one would be, it's so clear that. That would be that rule. So in this case, we would probably say, because the weather was nice Saturday, comma, our family. Because the weather was nice Saturday, our family went to the seashore. That should be right. We'll do that and cross out the V since it's lowercase. Oh, I just had it where you couldn't see. Because the, in place of the V, weather was nice Saturday, get rid of so, our family went to the seashore. Next. Although the aptitude test was pretty difficult, I did well because I'm familiar with that type test. So we've got two problems. Type should be type of instead. And then pretty should not mean very. let's see, right here. Fairly or somewhat or moderately is what should be used instead. So let's pick one. Although the aptitude test was fairly difficult, I did well because I'm familiar with that type of test. Okay, number 4, Olivia has improved grade-wise. We know we're not supposed to use that, by reviewing her class notes daily. Let's look. It's this WISE rule. You want to avoid ungraceful terms as tack-wise, policy-wise, profit-wise, production-wise, or grade-wise makes it that one as well, because it's the way that they turn a noun into an adverb. So instead, they say, this corporation enjoys healthy profits. We need to rearrange this. Olivia's grades have improved. Or Olivia has improved her grades by reviewing her class notes daily. That's exactly what they said. Her grades. Okay. The roads were so icy, period. I feel pretty fortunate to have arrived home safely. Okay, well, there's two problems here. Pretty should not be used. It should be fairly or moderately or somewhat. I feel somewhat fortunate. The big problem is the use of so without the word that. The water is so clear that I can easily see the bottom. So the roads were so icy that I feel, so we need to get rid of that period, that I feel somewhat fortunate to have arrived home safely. Okay, and then the last one, although the sea was calm and the day nice, weather-wise, the boat ride still made me nauseous. Nauseous would be, if the boat was nauseous, it means it's making someone nauseous. Made me nauseated because nauseated means feeling nausea, which is what he did. And then nauseous means causing nausea. So you could say the boat was nauseous or the boat ride made me nauseated, okay? And then weather-wise is not to be used. So instead we say, although the sea was calm and the day well, I would say, and the weather was nice. What did they do? Or suitable. Because nice is not supposed to be used either. It should mean, well, you can use something like courteous or suitable or whatever. So, although the sea was calm and the day and the weather was suitable, the boat ride still made me nauseated. Okay, that's our correction. And that's the last page. So please make those corrections in your book, take new photos of them and upload them on this assignment, and I will give you credit. All right, have a great day. Bye.